there. Wish I could go back in time to who I was before I started doing all that stuff and just tell myself that the money is not worth it. Keep your happiness.
But now that all standards on social conduct have completely come off and sleeping around is more socially acceptable than ever before, a lot of women have fell into the trap of self-gratification and impulsive pleasure with complete disregard for its consequences later on in life.
It's spiritual unification. And people that I shared my body with, when I think about my list, it's repulsive.
Hey, this is Raulh of Please Act Right. Isn't it amazing how we keep telling these women that they can't do what men do, but they just won't listen? But then when they hit their 30s, they snap out of it and end up regretting it. Here's Brittany Renner again, and a woman who had an OnlyFans page for a couple of years, regretting their 304 stage of life. We warned them, didn't we? Well, we're gonna listen to them talk about making their mistake of being promiscuous, and then we're gonna listen to Olivia Alexa warn men about getting into relationships and marriages with these type of women. But before we get started, a word from our sponsor. If you started to notice an increase in the appearance of wrinkles, fine lines, bags under your eyes, or other usual signs of aging, it might be more than just stress from the new year. Your collagen levels may be low. As you've gotten older, you may have also found that your nails are more brittle and your skin is not as strong, which can all be related to declining collagen production. I'm impressed because in just a week of taking this premium collagen powder, I've noticed a significant reduction in the appearance of wrinkles and fine lines. My skin has once again regained its youthful glow, hydration, and elasticity. I want you to try it as well and experience the amazing effects it had on me. Get a bag today for 51% off, plus receive several free bonuses before their New Year's sales end by going to healthactright.com. That's healthactright.com, and get ready to look your best this new year. For all the women out there that are thinking about starting an OnlyFans page, you better be careful. See, this woman will make money off you and teach you how to set up your page and how to be successful at it. But what she won't tell you is what this young lady will tell you right here. The consequences that you're more than likely going to suffer if you start one of these OnlyFans pages.
Hey there, beautiful. This video is for you. Starting an OnlyFans page number 1. This is the basics. If you don't already have an OnlyFans page, go to the link in my bio and click Become a Model. You're going to fill that form out and it's going to take you about 24 to 72 hours to get approved. While you're waiting for your page to get approved, make sure you think about your limitations. You're not going to want to do anything for anyone that's going to make you uncomfortable. Once you know the content that you're comfortable with creating, you're going to take lots of pictures and videos. You want these to be ready before you start promoting your page. People can see exactly how many photos and videos you have on your page, and they're not going to want to pay the money to subscribe if you don't already have a lot of content that they can see. When your account is approved, you can start promoting your page. I will make another video on my favorite places to promote my page. Don't get discouraged when getting started. You're freaking hot, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, and you're going to make freaking bank.
See how she baits women in? You're gorgeous and you're hot and you're gonna make bank, just like this young lady did. But listen to now after she's gotten some success and the money from her OnlyFans page.
Here's why starting an OnlyFans was the worst decision I made in my life. Did not realize that I was literally selling parts of my soul and the money could have never made it worth it. I just wish that someone would have warned me and told me that I was going to be later experiencing PTSD from the sexual trauma and the experiences that I was subjecting myself to on a daily basis. I did not know that I would later need to be in trauma counseling. It brought me into way darker places than I ever could have imagined, and I never want to go back there. I wish I could go back in time to who I was before I started doing all that stuff and just tell myself that the money is not worth it. Keep your happiness. And that's all I want to tell any girl who's thinking about starting an account. I just hope I can save even just one girl from going through the pain and the trauma that I am now going through because I subjected myself to that for the last couple years.
How much you want to bet 99.9% of the young girls out there that are thinking about starting an OnlyFans page, if they heard this woman, they'd ignore her and they'd still start the page. And we know why, right?
A woman will sell her precious body.
I like what you talk about. I think that it's foreign to me because, and I would say probably a lot of females as well, because I can honestly say, I'll speak for myself because I don't want to speak for everybody, but I never thought about it. I never thought about how men feel. I never thought about, biologically speaking, what makes sense. I never thought about how in marriage, you know, especially if the man makes more, that it's kind of a shitty contract on their end. I know business. That doesn't make sense, you know, unless we're signing prenups, right? So it's just like, since I've been listening to your content and I knew I was going to get on here, I've started to like you a lot more, right? It's easy to just kind of take a clip from you and be like, oh my God, she's this, she's that. I personally like you. Like, your personality is why I got on a 7-hour flight. And I knew that even though I may not agree, and I think that, and not even about agreeing, even though I may not just limit it to just that, like that perspective, I respect it. And I think it's true. There's really not a lot of stuff I think is untrue.
Isn't it amazing how you can have a young lady like this woman here, Miss Pearly Things, interview young woman after young woman, trying to explain to them that they have the concept all wrong and that they're going down the wrong path. And young woman after young woman will not listen to her. But the minute they hit the wall, now all of a sudden, I like you, you're right. Remember Sister Shahrazad Ali? She had been saying the same thing since the middle 80s, all the way up until this very day. And when she was telling women, especially black women, that they were out of line, and that's the reason they weren't being successful in relationships, they jumped all over her. Iyanla Vanzant was one of those women.
My name is Iyanla Vanzant, and I am a Yoruba priestess and a cultural custodian. This is not our culture. This book is anti-cultural, anti-African, and anti-historical. Wait a minute.
Fast forward to today, and now Iyanla Vanzant is saying the same thing that Sister Shahrazad Ali had been saying for more than 3 decades.
We talked about black women and boundaries, and you said we were out of order.
We're still out of order.
I'm like,
It's amazing. They don't listen until they get older.
Okay. But no, it's like, I get it. And all I can do is just be honest about, like, this is the expression that that is coded within me. And I am willing to accept the consequences that comes behind it.
Now, does she really mean that? Or is she saying it because it sounds good to say while you're on the air? The consequences that she may have to pay is she's not going to get that high-earning man she's always wanted to marry her and settle down with her. Those of us who know her backstory of this woman going on social media and wilding out and giving bad advice to women, telling them to go out and sleep with a ball player just to get a check because they're stupid and they'll sleep with you without protection so you can get pregnant and get paid. We know that she's ruined her reputation, and there's no way she's going to escape it, even if she sits here and says she's ready to pay the consequences for her actions.
So I don't ask for people to look at me through a different lens. I'm just kind of here to be myself and just showcase another perspective. That's really it.
Looking back, was there anything that you would do differently? And is there a different advice that you would give to a 20-year-old girl that has the same opportunities that you did?
I think the biggest thing that I would want to do differently is
avoid the athletes.
In case you didn't catch that, she said, avoid the athletes. No, sweetheart, you didn't have to avoid the athletes. You just need to avoid what you were doing with the athletes. Okay, Pearly Things, don't be trying to blame her being promiscuous on the athletes. They're only gonna do what you allow them to do.
Well, I will say, I have to be honest with myself because I think it's easy to take the cliche route and say, like, I would do nothing differently. Now, from the wisdom I have acquired, no, I would not change this wisdom for a clean slate. And that's just the God honest truth. But I will say, and even to my 20-year-old self, I hate how I allowed myself to just be like used up by men. And that came from a lack of self-worth. I did not understand my value that I was born with. I didn't. And I gave, again, people look at sex differently. It's spiritual unification. And people that I shared my body with, when I think about my list, it's repulsive because they didn't deserve it. But that was an outcome of me discounting my worth. And it's disgusting. I hate even having that spiritual tie in any type of way. But yeah, I would absolutely change sexually how I move around.
So basically the answer is yes. You would do things differently. The saddest thing about life is most times you can't get the wisdom unless you make the mistake. Unless you're smart enough to avoid the mistake that other people made by learning from them making the mistake. And I'm pretty sure she knows who Corinne Steffen is, aka Superhead. She's made the same mistakes Brittany has made, long before Brittany was even a thought on anybody's mind. And it didn't work out well for her either.
And not even necessarily because of like the societal outcome. It's more so from my self-worth.
That's how it makes you like feel.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good knowing that you gave a sacred part of you to a man that looked at sex with you as taking a piss. That's not fulfilling. It's disgusting to think about. And I feel like I've beat myself up every single day for my decisions. And what people say about me online holds no candle to what I've told myself on a daily basis. Like, I've been called worse by better, and that better be me. Like, I have talked down to myself, and I felt like I was unworthy for a very long time. And I would say this is more of a recent awareness, like in the past year, where I'm like, Brittany, you were always enough. Like, you never had to seek validation outside of you. You never had to look that far. And that's what I would tell myself. I would and try to tell women, you should really think about who you're laying down with. Like, and that is a more traditional view, but it's like, sex is not even worth it if they don't give a about you. They don't care about you. They have no desire to, they don't want to know your favorite color. They don't give a shit. So why do you want them over top of you? Again, that's come from feeling used up. And sometimes that's why the used goods comments, they sting. Because you know what? There are times I felt like that. I feel like the new toy that now is unexciting and put away in a box.
So I guess she's trying to say that she's the new toy, meaning that she has a renewed mindset, and now guys are looking at her as not being exciting. And that's where you made your mistake when you was doing all you're doing. You were thinking that you had to be exciting for men to be interested in you. Far from the truth. Men just want you to be cooperative, respectful, and know when to stay the hell off our nerve.
I'm not looking for a husband, I'm looking for my husband, and there's a difference. That guy is gonna be a very small percentage, and I'm okay with that. I'm at peace, and I'm at peace with the things I've done. But I will say, moving forward, like talking to any girl, to you, and, you know, whoever's listening, it's like, you really should think about why you're doing what you're doing. Really think about, why am I attracting that? What part of me is resonating with a guy like that?
Well, I hate to break it to you, Brat, but that small percentage that you had access to before, I don't think any of those men are gonna wanna get with you. So now your small percentage has changed. Now your small percentage are regular earning men. Because at this point, those are the only guys that are gonna take you seriously. The high earners have entirely too much to lose as far as money and their dignity and reputation is concerned to be taking a chance on getting into a relationship with you. But hey, maybe I'll end up being wrong. And for her sake, I hope I am. Now, let's wrap this video up with Olivia Alexa explaining and warning men about getting with women who've been through a 304 phase. Fellas, listen up.
Hi guys. Every single time a new man enters into a woman, she becomes less emotionally available. The term phase might come off as a strong phrase for some people, but it describes a period of many modern women's lives. And unfortunately, it relates to a very real reality about dating and relationships today. The majority of girls grow up and are thrown into a world that values them for their beauty and sexuality without them having to actually put in any effort. This causes an inflated sense of self and places an extreme importance on the need of being wanted and desired. So women start leading with their sexual alter ego. They start equating their value to their sexual desirability.
If a guy doesn't find me attractive, it's totally okay. No shame.
Just a few decades ago, girls would use their innate maternal and wifely skills when getting a quality man to commit to them. But now that all standards on social conduct have completely come off and sleeping around is more socially acceptable than ever before, a lot of women have fell into the trap of self-gratification and impulsive pleasure with complete disregard for its consequences later on in life. In other words, a woman sleeping around goes against natural law.
Message!
Scarcity creates value, and girls are depleting their value by making themselves too easily available to men. They don't realize what's waiting for them at the end of an exciting 10 years or so. They're met with a ruined reputation and a slaughtered self-image. For men who are looking for a woman to date or marry, understand that if her past is a trail of failed relationships and one-night stands, it's safe to draw a few inferences about whether or not she's really even worth your time. Women bond with the man they sleep with, and they develop an emotional connection, which is absolutely necessary from an evolutionary perspective. But this ability to bond stops coming into fruition when she repeatedly treats sex as nothing more than a physical need to fulfill, with absolutely no emotions involved. This is why you have women who can treat sex so casually now.
The meat. That's all you want is the meat? The meat.
If you're a man, Your early 20s are a time when you start at the bottom and you need to work to make it to the top by building yourself as a man who's attractive to women. The last thing you should ever want to do on this journey is participate in the rampant hookup culture with women who don't look at you as anything more than an addition to their notch count.
Because if y'all think I'm going to be out here chasing somebody's son,
this is the advice I give to all men. Resist the temptation to try to have a whole phase of your own because it will throw you off your tracks like nothing else. Find a woman who values you for yourself and build a lasting relationship on the strong foundation of trust and love. So until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
And I approve this message. I turned down quite a few women who just offered to sleep with me in the past. And a lot of the guys that knew me back then and still know me now thought I was crazy. But the reality was, I was not crazy. I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew that if I slept with too many different women, that down the line, I would end up comparing a good woman with women who were just a sexual escapade. Believe me when I tell you, there is a difference. So for all the young ladies out there, heed to the warning of these more experienced women. Don't make their mistake your mistake, or I promise you, you will regret it. Hey, somebody had to tell you, and I love you, so it might as well be me. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when I post a new video. I post a new video every week. And in the meantime, will you please act right? My name is Raulh. See you in another video. So if you enjoyed this video, check out one of these two videos right here. I'm sure you'll enjoy them too. And if you like, you can visit my channel. I have plenty of videos there. Go ahead. Don't be scared.